like to get myself like real sopping wet, and then just break into my neighbor's house and steal all of their shit.
Warning, Podcastrophe imminent. This is Podcastrophe with Dick and Tyler, and we're coming at you with a fistful of heritage on a podcast where anything goes and there are no safe spaces. This is Podcastrophe.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Dick, and I am with Tyler, as always.
Fat young John Stamos here.
How you doing, Tyler?
I'm fat young John Stamos, so I'm doing pretty good.
You've been having a good last couple days.
I've had a good week.
No panda for you.
No panda, no mammy panda, no Führer, but
Führer.
there is some controversy with the old panda.
Oh,
The old panda may be with child.
what?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Pandas can't reproduce though because they're too dumb.
They're no. It's not that they're dumb. It's that they're fucking lazy. They are literally
That's
too,
what I'm saying. They're
too lazy
They
to
are literally
procreate.
too dumb to have a sex drive. Like
Yeah.
they have,
You're
they
not
have
wrong.
literally no sex drive. So
They're smart enough to eat.
yeah, that's the only thing they're good at is
They
eating.
shit too.
Pandas don't have a sex drive, so they're literally too dumb to save their own species.
But the rumor going around is after 4 pregnancy tests, she still doesn't know if she's pregnant or not because she can't read the test. I'm not making this up.
Oh,
This is what I heard.
This
today.
is real life.
This is what I heard today.
This is real life.
Somebody's fucking procreating with this thing.
That's what I said. That's what I said to Richard. I said, because he was talking to me. He's like, I can't believe she's married. I'm like, you know what that means, right? He's like, what's that mean? He had to ask.
Right.
He had to ask.
He had to ask.
So I'm like, dude, that means someone is stupid enough to marry her. There is someone else out there just as dumb as her.
Like Joe.
So like,
But going even farther than that, there's somebody out there that's disgusting enough that finds her sexually attractive enough to procreate
I know.
with her. We don't need to go down the panda rabbit hole.
we don't.
But
We got some shit. We
got some shit.
I'm getting a lot better about, like writing shit down to talk about.
You
and
actually brought the topic list this week.
Yeah,
I did not.
I did last week too. Well, we both had one.
We
but,
both
like,
had one.
Well, like that's
I
what I'm
didn't.
saying.
I didn't
like,
do shit this week. So
like last week, like we both came prepared. We both had stuff we wanted to talk about.
I'm
like,
putting this all on you, pal.
And so this week, I did the exact same thing, and I'm just like, I got shit I want to talk about.
Doesn't it feel nice to be organized?
Kinda, yeah. Like I feel.
Oh hell yeah, man!
I feel much less awkward. I feel like I can actually talk about shit or give you shit to talk about.
Oh, yeah, that's the key. Just
Oh,
give me
yeah.
a topic and I'll talk
yeah.
about it.
So, first off, I would like to mention something. So, something really terrible happened last Friday, on Friday the 13th of all days.
That fucking day, man.
I know. So, good friends of mine, a band called Only Human. They're from Frankfurt. They practice here in town at their friend Ed's house. I can't remember his last name, but cool dude. So last Friday, late Friday night, his house burnt down. And so did their practice space, and so did all their gear. They have no gear. And he has no home. Him, his wife, his family, no home. So Mr. Nate Phillips, Podfather Pod Daddy, he reached out to me Sunday. He's like, hey, I'm sure you've seen the news with Ryan, Only Human's bass player. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Nate. So, which he did, Ryan hadn't posted much around, but I guess by that point he had said something on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Nate reached out to me, reached out to Nick. Apparently, Ryan reached out to Nick as well. Nick Maxon, Brews with Dudes, The Doom Room. Y'all know him on the network.
He be that guy.
Be that guy. So we're gonna do everything we can to help these guys out, help Ed out, get his home, get a new home, and and I mean nothing can replace your home. That's a place you live. That's
your home can be replaced.
Your home can be replaced.
Your family cannot be replaced.
You are correct,
so
but
luckily nobody was hurt.
Yes, exactly. Nobody was hurt.
That's the important part.
Apparently their pets are fine as well.
Good.
But yes. First and foremost, everybody's safe. But I mean, that's your home.
Mm-hmm.
That's some place that you find comfort and you lay your head to rest. Yeah, you can't replace that feeling.
Right.
And that sucks. That really sucks. So they're gonna get a GoFundMe page going up, and hopefully get some donations, whatever you guys can get. Whenever that's up, the Podcastrophe page will be posting that. Next week we're gonna try to get Ryan and one or two of the other guys on. So they can talk about it. They can talk about, and they can just shoot the shit with us, because that's what we love to do here on Podcastrophe.
I have a fundraiser idea.
What's that?
So we do like a dunk tank thing.
Yeah.
Where instead of like us throwing balls at a target and you going in a giant tub of water, we literally just throw balls. We throw stuff at you really hard.
You're saying me specifically.
Yes, you.
Why can't you be involved in this?
Because I throw things a lot harder than you.
I'm not. Oh no, I mean I'm saying people throw stuff at us.
I'm the star of the show. No one wants me to be hurt. Everyone wants you to be hurt.
That is half fair.
It is half fair. At least I didn't say like throw large heavy objects specifically at your nutsack. I could have said that. I could have went really cruel.
I think it's a given. Everybody's gonna throw shit at my crotch.
Yes. Well, I also could have said we could just tattoo you and put you in a camp.
That already happened to my ancestors, pal.
Yeah, you are fucking Polish.
I have found out I am Polish. I have Polish heritage.
How's that make you feel?
It makes me feel great because
that your fucking ancestors had enough ball sack to charge German tanks with swords and fucking cavalry.
Fuck yeah. So I already mentioned it on last week's episode of Podcastrophe. I'm name dropping the shit out of this show today.
Yeah, you are.
Last week I mentioned that I went to Ohio to my mother's and watched Nate Phillips' band and Veronica and all of them, their band Walk Among Us. And so I was just shooting the shit with my mom in the kitchen, and I happened to mention I made a joke about my nose. I was like, yeah, I got this new, because she mentioned that, she's like, you got the same exact nose as me. Like, you get it from me. I'm like, I know. It's this damn Jew nose. She's like, I'm more Polish. I'm like, oh, are we Polish? I'm so excited.
You're excited to be Polish? I've never heard someone say that.
Excited
the Polish aren't even excited to say that. I've been to Poland. They hate everyone.
They hate themselves. Poland is a country of self-loathing.
It is. It really is. See, so I went to Poland with my dad.
Episode title right there.
Poland, the country of self-loathing.
It's going to be either that or just the country of self-loathing.
You never know what else we're going to have throughout the episode. Long story short,
jot that down.
Germans love this specific variety of mushroom that it's only found in Eastern Europe. Germans flock to Poland every year to buy pound after pound of this mushroom. It's called a Pfefferlinger in German.
I like that name.
Yeah, it's a good name. But every summer when I would be in Germany, we would take trips to Poland to buy as much of this fucking mushroom as we could because my stepmother is from East Germany. That was the communist side for you people who don't know that Germany used to be divided in two. But
fucking millennials.
Fucking millennials.
Fuck us.
Fuck us. But the Polish are big fans of making their own vodka. It's actually more of a trend than the moonshiners here. But it's just making alcohol in your home is very dangerous because you can literally kill yourself. Not to mention, go blind, become sterile, die. But the Polish are very good at making vodka. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
All right. We got a little, we tangented a little bit there.
Well, we were in such a negative spot. It was. Just,
I get it. Yeah.
I had to act stupid, not to take anything away from the tragedy because it is a tragedy, and luckily, no one was hurt.
Yeah. Thankfully.
Nothing truly precious was lost. A home can be replaced.
You know, and that's one of the first things Ryan said was he's like, you know what, we may have lost thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of gear, but they lost their home, and they're okay. That's the important part. Important part is they are okay. So with that being said, yeah, they're gonna throw up a GoFundMe page. So anybody that can help out, and I'm gonna donate to it. I think we're gonna try to throw a benefit show, or at least add do something with the upcoming Doom Room shows to help support.
I was gonna say maybe there's something else that we can do, like Miranda and I make a bunch of food or something.
Yeah, that'd be really awesome. Which I'm sure we could do for one of the shows. I don't know since the Doom Room shows are mostly held at Jerry Lee's Pub now.
Doesn't have to be for the show though. It can be just in general.
Okay,
we can figure something.
Yeah,
out.
We'll figure something out. And you know, that's the great thing about having this podcast, being on this network, is we can use our platform to help people.
Well, and it goes hand in hand with the Lafayette music scene.
Yes.
You know, as much as I shit on this town and shit on this state, and most of the people that live here, yeah, Indiana fucking blows ass. But the Lafayette music scene is kind of the fucking diamond in the rough. I've met, in the short amount of time that I've really kind of tried to dive into the Lafayette music scene, I've met some really fucking cool people, and they're actually legitimately good people. You know, it's not just the mask that people put on when they interact with each other. These are legitimately good people.
And
so
that's one of the reasons I wanted to start this podcast in the first place, was so I can showcase these people, because a lot of the people I know here in town are in the music scene.
We need to get more of them on.
Yes. I mean, we've already had Keegan on. Keegan, Car Door Dick Smash's guitarist and vocalist.
Nick, of course.
Nick. He is the Lafayette metal scene, like hands down. He is the metal scene here. So like, and not to mention he plays in a couple of different bands. So
I'm the Lafayette asshole scene.
Yes,
you know?
We are.
Yeah,
more so you.
Yeah,
because you are capable of being more of an asshole. And
though you are legitimately older than me, I am much older than you in spirit.
Honestly, yeah.
Get off my goddamn lawn!
You've had more experience. You've had more experience. Yeah.
More anguish.
More anguish.
More misery.
Yes.
Fucking life sucks. Anyway.
So yeah, keep an eye out for that GoFundMe. And try to do what you can. Do what you can. We love Only Human. I love Only Human. You haven't heard him, but
I haven't heard him.
But yeah, we love here at Podcastrophe. I'm speaking for us. We love Only Human. We love those guys.
We're gonna try and be more active on social media, going as we're approaching the summer here.
And you know, we're gonna start doing more things like the poll, like the grilled cheese poll. I don't know where that's at, but it's over now.
Oh, I thought it went until the end of the month.
No, it's a 6-day poll. You want me to pull it up?
Sure.
You want me to pull it up?
I see what you did there, you dumbass.
Oh, wow. That's not the wrong page. All right, let's see.
I like that you have a Dick Gravy page.
Yeah, that's my original page. The Dick Gravy page. It was my multimedia showcase page. Load, you fuck. All right. The poll is in.
The final results.
55 votes, 13% mayo, and 87% butter.
I'm not going to say that I expected any different. Most people still don't know that you can make a grilled cheese with mayonnaise.
And yeah, that's true. That is true.
But remember this, there are fucking weird people out there that like spread olive oil on the fucking outside of like sandwich bread and make grilled cheese that way.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
interesting.
I'm down with some fucking garlic bread that way, but olive oil is too strong of a fucking taste for grilled cheese. I want fucking government cheese in a van down by the river when I fucking make grilled cheese. I'm not fucking whining and dining myself. This isn't fucking the Ritz, we're eating grilled cheese. So I'm not gonna get fired up about grilled cheese again because I'm quickly approaching it. Let's talk about beer. We've got beer.
I've opened mine.
I haven't yet because I didn't know which one we were doing first.
I've got Hazy Potter.
Give me your other one.
What? Oh yeah, keep it cold. You're right.
Dumbass.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, we got Hazy Potter from 450 North. This is Hazy Potter and the Brewer's Carbstone. It's an India Pale Ale, 7% alcohol by volume. I don't know. It doesn't say much else besides that. So
I'm kind of disappointed that it doesn't. I mean, we don't have a quick
yeah,
little footnote saying what hops they've used or.
Honestly, so I'm gonna hold this up to the camera.
I'll tell you right now, the smell is very potent. Yeah, you need to spin that around.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that, but as soon as I opened the can, I set it down on the desk.
Did you not see me smell it? And as soon as I opened it up,
I heard you say, "That's interesting."
I was like, So they on an upcoming episode of Brews with Dudes. No, not even upcoming. It was episode 25 of Brews with Dudes. This was the first beer they drank, and they actually got it that day.
Skylar just texted me and said that she wants a Hazy Potter, and I'm sorry I can't give you one because this is the only two we have.
Yeah, only two.
You probably wouldn't like it anyway.
Yeah,
it's beer.
They said it's out of all the 450 beers, this is kind of like one of the lighter, more regular style IPAs that they've made. So
yeah, that definitely means my wife wouldn't like it.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and give this a taste. I'm eager.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
That is very it's almost got a tang.
Yeah. What I like,
it's almost like drinking vinegar.
What I really like about 450 is
except it tastes good.
Huh?
I said I didn't mean to cut.
It's like
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Good.
But imagine, like I really enjoy the taste of vinegar. All vinegar. I'll fucking drink that shit. But when you get something that's very vinegar, think of Carolina style barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
It's very runny. It's not thick. The base of Carolina style barbecue sauce is vinegar. So when you put that taste in your mouth, or that vinegar taste in your mouth, it immediately hits all the fucking taste buds in your mouth. And fucking, I just imagine that when liquid hits my taste buds like bloom, like a flower. That's the image I get in my head.
Skylar says she wants it. She wants the Hazy Potter for her Harry Potter collection.
Well, I mean, I'll definitely take a can.
Keep the can.
But
I'll let you keep my can too, so that way you can have the can and the sticker.
Cool. So I took a pretty decently sized drink there, and it hit everywhere. Mm-hmm. But then it was almost immediately gone. So the first thing it made me think of, not as far as taste, but just as far as mouthfeel goes, is vinegar.
Yeah,
okay. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, it's all good. But the thing I've always liked about most 450 North Brewing Company, all their beers, is they have a really full mouthfeel. Like it's you're getting a really full. I don't know. The liquid just seems full of everything. Mm-hmm. You know, it's heavy.
Well, I would say it's heavy, but it's like fleeting.
Okay.
It's not heavy to the point where you're drinking molasses and it hangs in your mouth for a very long time.
And from what I understand, it's their brewing process. It's unfiltered. They don't filter out like the proteins and stuff after the fermentation and boil and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And that gives it that hazy, foggy, look that most of their beers have, and that also allows it to
be full bodied,
and I just love it. It's great.
I personally would still rather drink Tecate, but you've got me hooked on the craft beer thing in general. Definitely 450 beers.
At least to try it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I love trying new stuff, but I could pretty much every 450 beer that I've had, I could drink. Now I wouldn't drink the same beer every day, but I could drink a 450 beer every day.
I could.
And that's hard for me to find a beer that I would want to drink every day. Because when I was drinking heavily, I would go to the liquor store every couple of days, and I would buy a different case So, like Tuesday, I might buy a 36 pack of fucking Rolling Rock, and then 4 days later, I would buy a fucking 24 pack of Tecate, and then Victoria, and then so on and so forth. I like to have things not get stale.
Yeah, I get you.
So, yeah, I don't know that this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, it's not one of mine either.
It's
but,
really
you know,
good. I think it's just too plain.
Yeah, and I think that's what they said on Brews with Dudes. Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's not bad though.
Skylar definitely would not like this.
No,
Definitely
not. It's not bad. It's just good.
It's not bad. It's just good.
It's not.
God, you're a piece of shit.
It's not bad. It's just good.
No. A poo.
Oh shit.
Our also full-time co-host Baxter, the fat piece of shit cat, is hanging out with us, cleaning himself.
Yes.
How you doing, Baxter?
We had quite the scare last weekend with him because
He smelled like his asshole was outside of him.
well, because it basically was. That's no joke. Like we last week when you were here for the last episode,
And I petted him, and
You
I
were
was like,
petting
"What
him.
the fuck is that smell?"
he smelled like shit because he literally had shit stuck on him, and we gave him a bath.
How'd the bath go?
Typical. I mean, we didn't completely bathe him. We just basically washed his ass. Miranda washed his ass. I held him down.
Did you ever at any point in time think that you wanted to drown him?
No,
Damn it.
I love my cat. He's been my buddy for 6 years.
Yeah, but I mean, even though you love your cat, like you've got something like held against its will in a fucking tub of water.
Tyler, I think we need to address some of these underlying
I don't know what you're talking
psychological
about.
issues.
I don't know
that
what you're
you
talking
may
about.
Or may not have at some point in the future. I feel like Andy's home and I need to shut my door, but I don't know. We'll see.
Squiggle roll over there and shut your door. Good job. You did a shitty piss poor job.
That's okay. It doesn't need to be shut all the way.
So, my psychological issues aside, what's our next topic this
So our
week,
next
Blaine?
topic.
I like asking you what the topics are.
Oh yeah. Well, you decided to. You decided to show. You wanted to show a video, so
I've got a couple videos I want us to watch this week.
we're gonna watch Diamond Dave Ninja School.
Diamond Dave's Ninja School.
So here we go. Live stream. Switching you over. Oh shit.
Easy there, fella.
Switching you over. Gonna watch some shit now. Where'd we go? There we are.
God, you're bad.
Whatever. I'm okay.
So yeah, either do the one at the top or the West Virginia Ninja down lower.
Why? What is going on here? I'm bad at this. I'm bad at things.
Yeah, you are.
YouTube. Yeah. So, all right, we are good now.
Oh, you want your PlayStation?
You're all right. What we're going to teach you in our first episode is a proper stance and a proper kind of figure. And you got your Judy chop, ninja chop, got your karate chop, and you got your ninja chop. You know what smart thing to do is like when you use a judo chopping, you gotta say it, you know, for you beginners. You know, like that Judy chop. Because what you don't want to do is like be a Judy chopping and a kung fu kicking.
There goes your leg.
And there goes your leg. That's calling for one-legged ninja. That there, hard as a rock, but let me show you something. They don't have last time, but you don't put it on your face. I don't want to hurt you. But you got me? Now what we're going to do here, we're going to work on the ninja chop. What we're going to do. You don't want ninja chop. Well, I'll say, sometimes it don't always work for an injury. You know, but practice makes a perfect. Don't go ninja nobody, don't need ninja. Alrighty? Now, them things there, if I split them in my pockets, they'd get me for concealment of a deadly weapons. They said you got your son fella coming at you out in the trailer park. Regular can of backer, you say? No, says I. Watch this, people. If we just roll through the trailer park, watch that. Ninja star! Right there.
He just ninja starred a can of chew. Now he's using jump rope as nunchucks.
Well, you stop the Judy chop right yonder. You know, how you gonna Judy chop on that? There ain't no Judy chopping on that right yonder. And let me tell you ninjas out there, this is not a game. Don't you be trying this at home on your kids or your dogs, okay? We got 3 or 4 fellas now. What we do is called a ninja bumping action. Alrighty, we get our nunchucks, we get our firm hold on our ninja nunchucking handles, and we get them bumping. Thank you for purchasing one of Diamond Dave and Ninja School.
Oh my god.
I can't believe you've never seen that.
I haven't.
How do you feel about Diamond Dave's Ninja School? Do you think you've learned something?
I've learned that
People are fucked up in West Virginia. West Virginia.
Oh boy. Yeah, that was certainly interesting.
It's definitely soundbite material.
You got your ninja stare?
Regular can of backy? No, says I. And a ninja star. God, I fucking loved that video when I was in high school.
I've never seen it. You know what video I loved in high school? Unforgivable. Yeah. Unforgivable. What? You didn't find that funny?
No, it was hilarious, but I mean, I much rather would have watched fucking Diamond Dave's Ninja School. So I was at a friend of mine's house. I woke up like the next morning. Pretty sure I was hungover. Everybody else in the room with me was asleep. And just out of nowhere, the first thing that popped in my head was floppy octopus.
Floppy octopus.
So I grabbed the laptop, typed in floppy octopus on YouTube, and there's a music video called Floppy Octopus. We can play it if you would like, but maybe next week.
Next week.
We'll do Floppy Octopus next week. But
or we could make that like a live stream, like post.
Okay, yeah, we can do a post show. We can do a post
show exclusive.
But my good friend Clint Chase and his brother and a couple other people were all in the room. They're all fucking asleep. And I'm fucking just geeking out over this fucking Floppy Octopus video that I have no idea why I found it. I just woke up. Floppy Octopus. It's like divine providence. Like, someone guided me to find that video.
I just want to know. I just want a glimpse into your mind sometime.
I don't know that a regular mortal could handle a glimpse into my mind.
I'm willing to do this.
What if it melted your brain?
Well, I'm gonna say it right here live.
You heard it here first, folks.
Live on Facebook and next week on all the other podcasting platforms such as Podbean, on the Journey into Comics Network,
Stitcher Radio,
iTunes, Spotify,
Google Play Music,
Google Play Music. You've heard it here. Make it official. If I die, you get all of this.
I get all of this?
You get all of this. So
Hell
you
yeah.
can carry on Podcastrophe.
Hell yeah.
My password, I will tell you later.
Can I have Baxter?
Maybe. No. He's already been promised to another. Maybe.
Yeah, I have a problem with this.
You have a problem with this?
Yeah,
there are others that have known him much longer that want him.
I don't give a shit. I've been nice to that cat. I fucking hate cats.
You've been nice to him, but you call him a fat piece of shit every time
You
walk
call
in.
him a fat piece of shit.
Only because I'm a follower and I started following you.
Don't you put that evil on me. Anyway, what's our next topic this week?
We lost a hero.
We did.
A cinema hero.
Well, not just a cinema hero, a
I was
political
getting there.
hero.
I was getting there.
A real
hero.
fucking life
A
hero.
real American hero.
Mm-hmm.
A goddamn American hero.
Heritage!
Mr. R. Lee Ermey
Mm-hmm.
passed away earlier this week. This weekend. Was it this weekend or earlier this week? It was Sunday. I read it Sunday, I think.
Yeah, you texted me on Sunday,
Yeah.
I think.
What a bummer. I've loved him in everything I've seen him in.
Well, look at arguably one of the most recognizable movies, of all time, Full Metal Jacket. Okay? It's recognizable for its screenplay, the cinematography, the theme, obviously, that the movie is focusing on. That movie would not be a third of what it is without R. Lee Ermey's short role or small role in the very beginning of the film.
Yeah.
Imagine his role completely removed. That movie fucking blows dick.
Honestly, I never seen the movie beyond that point.
Really? You should finish it.
Not by my own choice. I was legitimately just watching it, and then I had to go for some reason. And,
Yeah, definitely watch the whole movie. It doesn't. The movie doesn't get better. It just kind of
stays stagnant.
Mm-hmm. But obviously, the barracks scene, all of the barracks scenes,
And
basic training. That's the fucking peak of that movie.
So, okay, if you haven't seen Full Metal Jacket, fucking mute this. Mute the video for a couple seconds. I don't know. I mean, most people have seen it.
We don't need to spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket.
We don't. You're right. So the scene where R. Lee Ermey dies.
Mm-hmm.
He gets shot by the guy he's been fucking tormenting all of boot camp.
It's fucking character building.
Yeah. But to this guy, he was being tormented, and everybody else was tormenting him. It's been a while since I've seen it, so
No, you're right.
bear with me. He takes a gun and he's going crazy. He's going crazy in the
He's
fucking.
lost his fucking mind.
He's in the bathroom, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna kill himself or somebody. But I can't.
No, he's gonna kill himself.
Yeah.
And then Gunny shows up and starts berating him.
Yeah, he's got a fucking loaded gun and he's
You
berating
fat
him.
sack of shit! Put down that weapon! And then he fucking shoots Gunny.
Well, he doesn't he dare him?
Yeah.
He dares him to shoot him, and he does it, and that bummed me out. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that happened.
And then he kills himself.
Yeah.
But look back.
But do you remember that? Do you know who that actor went on to be?
Farva.
No.
Yes, that's Farva.
That's Farva?
Yes, that's Farva. Give me a fucking liter of cola.
I'm gonna look this up because
It's fucking Farva, Blaine. For once, fucking trust what I say. It's fucking Farva.
Type in Farva. Kevin Heffernan, known as Sheev. Hold on. We are looking this up.
It's fucking Farva.
Actor. When was Full Metal Jacket?
I don't
Nope.
remember.
It was not Farva. You know who that was? The guy who played Kingpin in Daredevil.
I thought that was fucking Farva.
No. He was also in Jurassic World. Let's see. I can't remember his name.
God, they look so fucking similar. You were wrong. Or I was wrong. You were right to not trust me.
Vincent D. Yep, Full Metal Jacket.
Yep.
Pow. And Men in Black.
God, they look so similar.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio.
Wow. Yeah, he's Wilson Fisk. I about said William. He's Wilson Fisk in Daredevil, the Kingpin. He was Hoskins in Jurassic World. Wasn't in much else.
He's had a lot of supporting roles.
Yeah, Law and Order, Criminal Intent.
Mm-hmm.
Law and Order, Criminal Intent. What's New, Scooby-Doo? The Dangerous Lives of Altar Boys. I kind of want to see that now.
Watch it.
I'm gonna check this out.
Yeah, I apologize for coming at you the way that I just did.
Yeah, I accept. Men in Black, the series. Men in Black, the movie. Edgar. Who was Edgar? Is that the...
I have no idea.
Edgar. Oh, shit.
Yep.
Wow, he was the guy that...
The farmer before he got meat suited.
Yeah, I mean, and... Yeah. Wow. Oh, wow.
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 All right. So, yeah, rest in peace, Gunny.
Yeah, I mean, you look back at all the badass shit that Gunny did. You know, he was a strong Second Amendment supporter, obviously. He supported smart politics, not the bullshit that we have in office right now. Think back to the show fucking Mail Call. How badass of a fucking show was that?
That was that History Channel show, right? Where oh, fuck yeah, I love that show.
Back when the History Channel was good.
Yes.
Before it was all Pawn Stars and fucking counting cars, restoration.
American Pickers. Actually, that show's not bad.
I fucking hate that show.
Really?
They butt fuck each other in the van. Not that I have anything against homosexuality, but...
I mean, don't get me wrong. I won't watch a marathon of it.
When I was a kid, I watched the Discovery Channel, Cartoon Network, Animal Planet, and the fucking History Channel. That's it. That's all I fucking watched.
I watch Discovery a lot.
And I learned a lot of shit. I have a lot of fucking facts in my brain.
You do. I mean, I remember we had a full conversation about World War II. Just while working. Mm-hmm. And I love being able to talk to people about just random history shit. Like, you don't get that very often.
Well, there's a lot of history.
These days.
You know, history is written by the victors, number one. Number two, we are no longer actually teaching history in schools because teachers are complaining about being underpaid when, in my opinion, they're the most overpaid fucking organization in the world, other than the IRS. And number three, like, it goes hand in hand. We've replaced something that's actually educational with something that is fucking entertaining. And it's entertaining to people who aren't educated. So, it's just fucking sad.
It is. It really is. And, God, back to Mail Call. I fucking love that show so much.
That's such a good fucking show.
People would write in and
people would legitimately ask these questions.
Yeah, and that's awesome. They would ask questions about like tanks
or individual weapons.
And he would like demonstrate them sometimes. He would give the history of that weapon and what made them so awesome.
From like design to inception, like all the way through.
Yeah. And then he would, if he was able to, he would demonstrate these
fucking
things.
Blow up some watermelons.
And he would just fucking
Gunny hated watermelons.
So there's a game, I want to say Just Cause. Like, they hated watermelons.
Gallagher hated watermelons, too. The fucking Sledge-O-Matic.
Yeah. But once again, rest in peace, Gunny.
Yeah, R.I.P. Gunny.
Arlie Ermy, you were a great part of my childhood. I think the first thing I saw him in was Saving Silverman. With Jack Black and
such
Jason
a great
Biggs.
fucking movie. That is a great movie.
If you haven't seen Saving Silverman, please do. It's also one of the first movies I saw Jack Black in.
Doesn't Jack Black end up being gay with Gunny in the end of the movie? Yeah.
Well, yeah, she like psycho, like the antagonist of the movie. I can't remember her name, but or the actress's name, but
God, she's hot though.
She fucking psychoanalyzes JD or Jack Black, and because they're holding her captive in their basement, and he's in this high school football team's mascot uniform, like he's in the mascot suit, and he's guarding her, making sure she doesn't fucking do anything, and she's just Judith, yes, of course it's Judith, of course it is. But no, she's psychoanalyzing him against his will, and like she basically convinces him that he's gay, or makes him realize that he's gay. And he tells that to Arlie Ermy, his former football coach, and he's like, "I am too." Really? Oh, great movie! If you haven't seen Saving Silverman,
Yeah, I've always dug Saving Silverman,
movie.
man.
It's got Steve Zahn, Jason Biggs, Arlie Ermy, Jack Black. There's a great appearance from Neil Diamond,
Oh yeah,
along with tons of musical fucking.
it's a fucking fantastic ensemble cast. It's out of something that you wouldn't fucking expect. The scenes where Steve Zahn is fighting the fucking raccoons.
Oh my god!
God, they're great.
Steve Zahn he's
Or when Jack Black is eating the fucking spaghetti in the refrigerator. God, just watch Saving Silverman.
yes,
It's a classic.
Watch Saving Silverman. And I think other than that, I've only seen Arlie Ermy in like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff. But moving forward, last Friday a new CD dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
one that I've been looking forward to for a while.
You know, okay, so before we say who it is, the last CD they came out with, I was really looking forward to that because I love the CD they did previously. And so there was between 2009 and 2015, all they had was a greatest hits CD, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
This band is Breaking Benjamin. And so between Dear Agony and Dark Before Dawn, there was 6 years in which they released a greatest hits CD, which had, and because of that CD, Benjamin Burnley fired his entire band.
Which I still don't blame him.
Yeah. And Nick and I, we've talked about this on either Podcastrophe or Brews with Dudes before, but he fired his entire band because they gave the go on releasing a remixed version of.
We talked about it episode 19.
Oh, did we?
Dead Horse with Brandon.
Oh, yes. So, long story short, fired band. They released remixed version of Blow Me Away with the female singer. Not bad, but not as good as the original.
The female vocal
it was great.
The vocals are great.
It was great.
The way the song is mixed up.
Yeah, terrible.
It's terrible.
And he didn't want it released. They decided to go ahead. He's like, "Well, fuck y'all. Bye."
Yeah, because this is the band name is Breaking Benjamin. It's not Benjamin Burnley and Friends.
Yeah.
So
and,
fuck all you guys.
He is the main writer and composer of everything.
Mm-hmm.
He writes the music. It's I'm trying to think of it's like 9 Inch Nails. Trent Reznor writes everything.
Yep.
He writes fucking everything.
That's his fucking band.
Honestly, for the longest time, Foo Fighters was the same way. Dave Grohl wrote everything.
That's Dave Grohl's band.
There was an album where
Chad Kroeger writes everything.
Does he?
I don't know. I just wanted to say it.
Oh man, that explains so much. So Breaking Benjamin, they finally returned to their normal 2 to 3 year cycle, like album cycle.
So episode 19, you had Brandon and I listen to their first single off the album, Red Cold River.
Yes.
And neither one of us listened to it before the episode. Then we listened to it right before the episode started. I really dig that single, and there hasn't been a single other than Bad Wolves' cover of Zombie that I've really dug for a long time. So fast forward to where we're at now.
Red Cold River, would you say it blowed you away?
It was very good. I really like it for a lot of reasons. You and I talked a little bit right before we got into our technical difficulties. I look at this album as kind of a Breaking Benjamin return to form.
Yeah.
It's not heavy song ballad, heavy song ballad, heavy song ballad. It's
just the same thing all the way through.
Yes.
In a good way.
In a good way, yes. I've listened to the album now twice, I think you've listened to it more than I have.
About 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Yeah, I've only
without even realizing
with kids
it.
and everything. I've been busy. I haven't had.
Yeah.
And it didn't come out that
Well,
many days ago.
I had my earbuds in at the gym yesterday, and it went through a couple times. And as you said, it's a shorter album.
And that's one of the things that I
12 songs.
I
but
appreciate because I told you in the early to mid 2000s, a lot of superstar bands were releasing albums with 20 songs on them. 11 of the songs probably, or more than likely, fucking sucked. I remember quite a few that I was like, okay, take this song out, take this song out, take this song out, and look at what we have left, and we've got a really good album. So especially now that we're not buying CDs, we're not buying physical media, I have no problem with bands releasing, even if it was a 7-track album, I'd be okay with that.
Check out that artwork.
I saw it on Spotify. I didn't get to see a whole lot.
I really dig that artwork. And the CD itself, is it in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it's their typical. They put their logo on every CD, and the camera's not going to pick this up very well, so I'm not even going to bother. But they've always this reminds me a lot of the Phobia disc actually. I don't have my copy of Dark Before Dawn because I let someone borrow it a couple years ago and I never got it back.
That's why you don't let people borrow things.
To be fair, I haven't really bothered to try to get it back either.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit.
I also have my signed copy of Tremonti's All That I Was, which was his debut solo CD. But yeah, this album itself. So I really dug Dark Before Dawn. I love that CD. I loved its softer moments. I loved its heavier moments. That to me was a great continuation of Dear Agony, Dear Agony is my favorite Breaking Benjamin CD.
Really?
Yes, hands down. Every moment of that CD is just brilliant.
I love that album. I do not like the song Dear Agony.
Oh, that's probably my favorite song on the album.
Not mine. I love Breaking Benjamin is in my top 10 favorite bands of all time. I really hope that we get to go see them this summer.
August. They are with Five Finger Death Punch and Bad Wolves.
And Nothing More. I really, really that I would say that I am looking forward to that concert more so than I am of any of the concerts I've missed the last 2 or 3 years.
I went and saw Breaking Benjamin for the first time about 2 years ago. They were opening up for Disturbed, which is another band. I'm not exactly in love with them anymore like I was.
Disturbed is still a bucket list band.
Oh, yeah, you got to see them. I mean, everybody gives me shit for liking Disturbed, but, they're the reason I am into heavy music.
Yeah.
I would not be into heavy music if it wasn't for me.
I got into Disturbed late, mid high school. So Disturbed wasn't my influencer, but I fucking always dug Disturbed. Yes. And then we talked about the Bad Wolves cover a couple episodes ago.
Yeah,
or 4 or 5 episodes ago. You want to talk about a cover? The fucking cover of The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah. That's how you fucking do a cover, and that's part of the reason why I like Bad Wolves cover so much is they did it just like Disturbed did. So all you people out there that want to shit on Disturbed, go ahead. Disturbed is still fucking badass.
A lot of people complain about Disturbed because their vocals sound the same. It's like, no, they really don't.
Even if their vocals sound the same, AC/DC's every song of fucking AC/DC sounds exactly the same. It's the same music.
Yes. Disturbed.
Shit on yourself.
People give Disturbed shit because all their songs sound the same. It's like, no, you haven't actually unless you actually delve into their discography and have listened to everything, you can't say every song sounds the same because I have.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm a fan.
Even if they do all sound the same, it doesn't fucking matter.
No.
AC/DC in the top fucking 20 greatest bands of all time. Every fucking song is exactly the goddamn same. I fucking hate AC/DC because it's all the same. But you know what? I respect them because they're in the top fucking 20 greatest goddamn bands of all time.
And you know what Disturbed is? They are one of 5 bands. I think at this point 4 bands who have had 5 #1 debuts.
Yeah.
Metallica.
I was going to say Metallica is the only one I know off the top of my head.
There's a few others. Obviously, I can't. Metallica's the only one.
Top 5. There's only 2. Wait, our math's wrong. But yeah, and this goes back to what I've said. Like, you know, out of the last 10 episodes, I've probably went on a rant about it at least 4 fucking times. Stop shitting on something just because you slightly disagree with it. Fucking be more complex.
Stop
of a fucking
shitting on something because you see other people shitting on it.
Yeah, be a fucking complex person. Form your own fucking opinions. Be a regular gay.
I was about to say, be a complex guy.
Be a regular fucking gay. Okay? Stick your dick on an engine block and produce a hot foamy goo. Like, seriously, it really triggers me because Disturbed is not a bad band.
No.
They are, like you said, one of the only fucking bands of all time to have 5 debuts at fucking #1. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to tell me that they're shit because all their stuff sounds the same? Fuck you.
The only album that hasn't debuted at #1 was The Sickness, which is arguably, everybody argues, is their best album.
Right. I wouldn't disagree with that. But they were still undiscovered.
Yeah, you're right.
For the most part.
Exactly. So...
But if they are that fucking untalented that you're going to say they suck and that they're shit, how do they have 5 fucking #1 debuts?
Because there's a lot of there. If the only explanation for so much hate yet so much like love is there's a lot of closet Disturbed fans out there.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And you know what? It goes to, let's talk about Nickelback. Let's talk about Nickelback.
I've talked about Nickelback on this show before. Everybody knows why I fucking hate Nickelback.
I hate Nickelback.
I did not hate Nickelback prior to Dark Horse. I'm not going to go through that whole thing over and over again.
You are exactly right.
After Dark Horse, man, that fucking ruined it for me.
You know, all the right reasons probably ruined it for a lot of people because they heard Photograph and Rockstar a million fucking times on the radio.
But that doesn't... And see, here's the thing with Nickelback. I have no respect for Chad Kroeger and Nickelback because Chad Kroeger's a fucking douchebag.
Face for a foot? Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Foot for a face.
Foot for a face. It's the same other way.
Yeah.
But, you know, the only reason I hate Nickelback is because I heard Dark Horse literally on repeat until my fucking ears were bleeding every day during wrestling practice. If that would not have happened, and I only heard the CD like once a day, I probably would still have a little bit of respect for Nickelback.
Yeah.
But and you cannot say that they're not talented because they've made a shit ton of fucking money.
Oh yeah.
So they're either
people like them.
They're either really intelligent or really fucking talented, and I think ultimately it's a combination of the two.
I have not heard a good thing about them since Dark Horse. And that being said, that not saying anything good about Dark Horse, but that was the line.
Here's the sad thing too. There's actually there's a couple songs on Dark Horse that aren't bad.
No, I know.
And the fucking band is terrible.
Yeah. We're steering away from the real topic, and that's Breaking Benjamin's new CD.
Yeah, you got me triggered.
I
got fucking real triggered there for a second.
I tangented a little bit, and you know what? So I consider this
thick foamy goo.
So this is Breaking Benjamin's album Ember. And
I really like the album title.
I do too. And you know, it's not a song title; it's just an album title.
Mm-hmm.
And there are lyrics that mention the name Ember.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, so far to me, there are no songs that really stand out. And I'm not. That's not a knock. Red Cold River is like the only one that stands out to me because I already heard it.
I really dig the opening song on the album.
I did too.
Lyra, however you want to say it. Yes. I really dig that one. Feed the Wolf was okay.
Oh, I liked Feed the Wolf.
I really like Tourniquet. Tourniquet was a good one for me.
Oh, this is interesting how they did the track listing on the back.
I also really liked The Dark of You
Yes, I love Dark of
And
You.
I'll tell you
Torn
this.
Apart, Torn in Two is good.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I really dig Red Cold River. It's probably my second favorite song on the album because that's the one I've heard the most.
Yeah.
I really, really like Torn in Two. I will say right now that's my favorite song on the album.
It's a really consistent sounding album. Like,
Well, and that's what I said. It's kind of Breaking Benjamin's return to form. You look at Phobia. You know, people, and you yourself say, there's a lot of songs on Phobia that I don't really care for. Mm-hmm. You have to look at Phobia and the amount of hits that came off of that one album. My opinion, Phobia is their greatest album they've ever done.
and you know that's a lot of people's.
But this is very much return to form. This is blown away without the shitty add-on vocals from the female artist.
The shitty good add-on vocals.
Well, the vocals are really good, but the way
shitty
they
mix,
mixed it is
yeah.
terrible. It's not 6 years without an album. This feels like
All right, we're back in the game. We're
we just released an album a couple years ago. We need to put something else out that's really, really good to stay. Breaking Benjamin is one of the bands that I think, even if, say, Ember is their last album that they ever make, as long as they continue to tour and have somewhat of a semblance of a presence
yeah.
in the industry, I think Breaking Benjamin is one of the few bands that would have the ability to stay relevant for a long time. Just because of the albums that they have released. Mm-hmm. You know, Ember could be the last one and they could never release another one. And I'd be okay with it. I would not be okay with it, but I couldn't say that, God, that fucking last album that you guys did sucked and that's how you leave us. If this was their last album, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, I would be too.
The way the album is, not the fact that it would be their last album.
If I were to rank it, I'm not even gonna rank by number. I'm just gonna say this isn't my favorite.
Just say thumbs up or thumbs down.
I give it a definite thumbs up because it's good. It's not bad, but does it so far? Because I've yet to really dive into the lyrical themes and all, and what makes me connect to it. So that comes next.
Right.
But on first 4 listens, because it's like I said, it's a short album.
It goes very and the songs are not very long. They're all
no, but you don't feel like
they're all sub 4 minutes.
You listen through it and you don't even realize it started over. One, because all the songs sound similar in a good way, and two, you're just it's good to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
So like yeah, I definitely give it a thumbs up. Is it my favorite? No, Dear Agony still holds that. Man, after Dear Agony, I don't know what to put after that.
I think you have to put Phobia there.
I would say Phobia is tied with Dark Before Dawn for me.
I didn't like Dark Before Dawn as much as you did.
I really
I like
did.
Dear Agony more than I like Dark Before Dawn.
I like Dark Before Dawn a lot because it did have some really heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike this album so far.
But give this album a little bit of time.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit more exposure.
Dark Before Dawn had Failure. It had Defeated.
Right.
It had When Angels Fall. Oh, When Angels Fall. That is such an incredible song.
Mm-hmm.
Ashes of Eden.
Ashes of Eden is one of the
different.
ones. It's different. I struggle with Ashes of Eden a little bit because it was played on the radio so much.
See, I don't have radio, so I don't.
You have radio, you just don't listen.
I
to
don't
it.
listen to radio, so I never had.
I
that issue.
have no clock radio.
I have no clock radio. I do not.
I did not.
Bullshit. I don't have it.
God, I hate you. But yeah, I mean, I get it. It's the Nickelback thing. I was exposed to it a lot more than you were.
Yeah.
When I did not choose it.
What I like about Ashes of Eden is it's different from most of their songs. It's soft, so it's really easy to listen to, and I can connect to it in that way. That it's a softer.
How many times have you masturbated to it?
Oh, at least 16.
This month or just all time?
All time.
Okay.
And I really enjoy it. I like songs that towards the end, they add in like vocal harmonies.
I gotta
that are kind of contrasting.
if you want to give me a musical boner, harmonize.
Oh yeah, think of this: crossfade, cold, the end.
Yep.
At the final chorus where he's having those where he kind of like one of them sings the actual chorus and the others it's saying it off. It's kind of like a delay, but it's a separate vocal track where he is extending what they said just moments prior. So Ashes of Eden, love that song. Vocal harmonies, love those. This album, I can't wait to keep listening to it.
I think it's one that's going to be relevant. It's going to be very relevant.
I've listened to a couple albums recently that have really, so the three other albums I've listened to in entirety recently, Light the Torch, Revival.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I need to finish this beer so we can get on to the next one.
why I
Light the
finished
Torch
mine, you bitch.
is what is the renamed version. It's Howard Jones, formerly of Killswitch Engage. There's a couple other members that were in other bands. I don't know them. I might know their bands though.
Is this a super group?
I think so.
Okay.
Like I said,
I'm okay with that. I think we
yeah.
need more super groups.
We do, and at this point, that's what we're getting all the time.
See, we have so many super groups that tried to form in the late 80s, early 90s.
And that didn't work.
And it didn't work because there were so many fucking egotistical people, and no one wanted supergroups. They wanted the original bands for everybody to
or
get
they wanted those supergroups to play those songs.
Right.
The songs that they loved.
They didn't want them to do their own thing. I'm to the point now on where all these people are so fucking musically talented. They all have a gift. Why not fucking let them do their thing? Make more fucking supergroups.
Yeah, people are assholes though. But Light the Torch. So
yeah, I know that more than anybody.
A little bit after Howard left Killswitch. By a little bit, I mean at least like 5 years. Had to have been 5 years. He came out with Devil You Know. A lot of people fucking hated it, and I know why.
I'll tell you right now, I was not a fan.
You were not a fan. I was not a fan either because one, it was angry, and I didn't like that anger, that style of anger, and
that's what I was gonna say. It was almost to the point of where it wasn't just anger anymore. It was whiny.
Yeah,
that's the way that I took it.
It was anger in the most negative way, and that's not what I'm used to with Howard. I'm used to him writing positive lyrics. Even in the sadness, there was a positive light. However, and on top of that,
also real quick, I have to interject.
Go for it.
We've been talking about covers, and now we're talking about Killswitch. Holy fucking diver! You may proceed with what you're doing.
Holy diver, you've been down too long in the midnight sea.
Right,
I fucking love that.
That was terrible.
Whatever. But yeah, the one thing that stood out most to me in terms of Devil You Know and how much I hated them was the vocal production. Holy shit, they added some really terrible fucking like layered, processed as fuck vocals to Howard.
Yeah, they did.
And I hated it. So, moving forward, they decide to change their name. They decided to change their name to Light the Torch.
Real quick, just to satiate my paranoia, can you minimize the YouTube thing and verify that we are recording?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, we are still recording.
Thank you.
Can Facebook Live not hear us?
No, I just, it's been a long time since we've had the waveforms up, and I was very paranoid, like, we've done it again.
No, it's still recording.
So anyway, Light the Torch.
Light the Torch. I don't know. I can't remember why they decided to change the name.
Well,
It's
sometimes
the same members.
Sometimes when you have a very negative connotation associated with you, you have to kind of put on a new mask or refresh, you know? So
I get it. they come out with the CD Revival, and I had already heard a song off of it.
I have not heard this.
And I think it's one of the...
When did it come out?
Die Alone, I think, is the first one.
When did the album drop?
About a month or two ago.
Okay.
This CD from front to back is just absolute amazing.
Okay.
Like the vocal production, which was honestly, the vocal production is the biggest issue I had with Devil You Know. Both CDs.
Okay.
I bought both CDs.
So that's why you were pissed.
No, I'm not pissed.
Well, think about it. It's the same thing
Luckily, I bought them digitally.
But think about this. It's the same thing that I say with when I go to the movie theater. As long as I'm entertained and I can justify spending that $10 on a movie ticket, I'll be okay. If I go to Walmart right now and buy a if I buy a fucking CD for $17 and it's fucking terrible, I'm going to be pissed off. If the CD is mediocre enough that I'm entertained, I can justify spending $17 on that, you know?
You want to know a CD I bought physically and was very disappointed in?
What's that?
Foo Fighters, the latest CD, Concrete and Gold, I think is what it's called.
I have a very rocky relationship with Foo Fighters, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about it on the podcast before.
Yeah.
Dave Grohl is just more sophisticated Chad Kroger for me in a lot of ways. Don't get me wrong.
Best description ever.
Am I wrong?
I've never thought that, but
Think about it from my perspective, though. You have a drummer from one of the most heralded bands of all time. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, and this is a strong, unpopular opinion, so prepare yourself, folks, because people don't like it when I say this, Nirvana is not that fucking good. Get over yourselves.
Their hits are great.
Their hits are great. And their songs that aren't hits are still good. And I'm not taking anything away from that. The band is great. But what I do not appreciate when you look at the musical genre of grunge, okay, you immediately think of late 80s, early 90s. And our generation, the millennials, immediately go to Nirvana. Why do we go to Nirvana? Because MTV and VH1 crowned Nirvana
huge staples of our generation.
the kings
Musically.
the kings of grunge, and that's not correct. Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Temple of the Dog, those are the fucking kings of grunge.
Temple of the Dog is Pearl Jam and Soundgarden.
That's why I said it.
Let's not forget Candlebox.
Right, yeah, you can't. I mean, there's a lot more that I didn't
know. Candlebox, that's awesome.
I fucking love Candlebox.
I don't know very many people that know Candlebox.
How can you not fucking know Candlebox?
I'm just saying, I don't know.
I said the same thing when you told me that you appreciated the fact that I knew Temple of the fucking Dog. How can people not fucking know Temple of the Dog? Have you not fucking heard Hunger Strike?
So, okay.
I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm
This is
today.
hilarious. This is hilarious. Oh my god. So, episode 25, Brews with Dudes, they mentioned that they were listening to something at the 450 North release where they got these beers we're drinking, and they're like, who is this, Pearl Jam? And they're like, no, it's Temple of the Dog, and Nick couldn't think of who it was, and he's like, it's like some dog or Hair of the Dog or Temple, and it's so funny that we're talking about this
2 weeks in a row now.
2 weeks later.
No. 2 weeks in a row. We talked about Temple of the Dog last week,
Did
too.
we?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's when we talked about you appreciating the fact that I knew Temple of the Dog.
I do.
But anyway.
No, I seriously do appreciate that you know Temple of the Dog, and because to me, in my life, not many people know Temple
Part of the
Dog.
reason that I have such a hard-on for Temple of the Dog,
Chris Cornell.
not Chris Cornell, in my opinion, the greatest frontman of all time.
This just in, we're all going to die on April 23rd because of Death Planet, according to conspiracy theorists. Go on.
We'll get back to that. In my opinion, Chris Cornell, the greatest frontman of all time. We will dissect that in a later show. I've got some workings in the back of my mind where we kind of do a top 10 of all time.
Frontman,
Not just frontmen, like
musician,
just like
people,
and of like different genres. We just we come up with our list before the show, and then we rattle through them and we dissect. I've had that working for a little bit because we don't talk about music enough on this show. Now that I'm a co-host, I feel like I've stolen a little bit of that away from you, and I appreciate music in a lot of different ways, and I want to talk about music more on the show, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. So anyway, yeah, Temple the Dog is just so fucking great. You cannot listen to any modern rock in any variation and it not be a little bit rooted in the grunge trend of the 90s. And you have two men along with others. You have Chris Cornell and fucking Eddie Vedder to thank for that. Not fucking Cobain. I'm sorry. Nirvana was great, and I eventually will get back to Dave Grohl, I promise. Yes.
They popularized it.
Soundgarden was fucking badass. Pearl Jam was badass. You know, they were playing festivals, and they were doing a lot of stuff on the West Coast, and they were really popular. Nirvana brought grunge to the Midwest and to the East Coast and to everybody else, along with Candlebox, I would say.
I don't know much about Candlebox.
Candlebox was very radio popular at the time.
Really? Okay.
So a lot more so than Soundgarden and Pearl Jam for a long time.
That sounds so weird because I'm like, oh my god, I'm really, that's awesome that you know Candlebox. I don't know much about Candlebox.
Soundgarden and Pearl Jam got a lot more popular once VH1 and MTV got a hold of them. So
10. When 10 came out, that was huge.
But you know, Nirvana, if you look, one of the biggest things that I appreciate about Nirvana, if you go back and look at the unplugged stuff that they did,
MTV Unplugged in New York.
MTV Unplugged, that is, I in my opinion, the unplugged stuff that they did is better than 90% of the stuff that they recorded.
Honestly.
I really, because that is actual on the spot emotion. It's Dave feeding off of Kurt. It's Kurt feeding off of Dave. It's everybody together. It's a very relaxed, you know, Kurt's feeding off the crowd, but nobody's riled up because it's a very small crowd and it's very intimate.
So while we're on the subject of Nirvana, I have a really special connection with Nevermind.
Okay.
To me, it's special.
Was it the Baby Dick?
No.
Are you talking about the song or the album?
The album itself. I mean, not even entirely the album, but okay, so rewind to late April, early May 2012. Right around this time, actually. I came home from work. This is a couple months into me working at Subaru. I came home from work to my fiance outside, and she left me. She decided to call it off. That night, I mean, I still stayed with her that night, and
that was awkward as shit.
Kinda. I was devastated, but she went to sleep. I decided to keep watching Netflix. I ended up watching the making of Nevermind, classic album. Nevermind. There was a couple.
That was on Netflix.
Yeah, it was that the Black Album, which was really cool to watch.
Oh hell yeah,
that was really cool to watch. But Nevermind. So I'm watching this. I'm watching the making of it, and he's the producer. I can't remember his name right now, but he was going through. He's like, oh yeah, listen to this. Listen to these doubles that Kurt Cobain did. Like they're spot on. Like, and then listen to this track with Dave Grohl doing backup doubles. Like with Kurt, and like how fucking they harmonize so perfectly together. And it just told like all these little stories about each track, or like substantial tracks, like "Come as You Are" and all this shit. And the one that stood out most to me was a song called "Something in the Way."
That's a good one.
Oh,
one of my favorites.
I fucking love that, and I'd never heard it. I had never fucking heard it before hearing this story.
You had never sat down and listened to that whole album
until I saw this thing.
Really?
Until I saw this video or this documentary. Literally the next day I went to Disc Replay and I fucking picked that album up. Or I went to Best Buy.
We've had like completely opposite musical journeys.
See, I've always loved Nirvana for their hits, but I never actually dived in, you know. But something in the way, like the big story behind that is like they were trying to record it and Kurt Cobain finally got like really frustrated because he couldn't get it the way he wanted it. And so he just fucking, in frustration, went over to the couch and tried to work it out. And the way he was doing it on the couch, the producer, whose name I wish I could fucking remember because he's a great dude. He's been in another punk band and shit, and before that, and he still to this day produces Foo Fighters stuff.
So he's been involved in the industry for a long time.
Definitely. He's like, no, that's it right there. And he immediately ran over with a microphone and said, do it. Like, do it right here. This is how it needs to be. And he recorded it on the spot. Like Kurt Cobain on a couch with an acoustic guitar, just singing his heart out, calmly singing his heart out. Something in the way. And that song is just fucking beautiful to me. So that song, I say the album, but that song holds a special place in my heart because it's so sad and I love it. We've ventured off. So I was really disappointed in Foo Fighters' Concrete and Gold. It had a couple songs that were rocking and a couple songs that were like really
rolling,
experimental, I will say.
That's I made the comment that Dave Grohl is like
Chad Kroeger.
Just
sophisticated.
Chad Kroeger. What I do appreciate about Dave is he's not afraid to try something.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Dave Grohl is a musical genius because when you're involved with one of the arguably, top 100 greatest bands of all time.
Two of them.
Not to mention Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah. Shit, I completely forgot he did.
When you're Dave Grohl and Nirvana, dissipated, and then it's like, shit, what do I do now? Well, I can do this Queens of the Stone Age stuff. I can do this Foo Fighters stuff. I can sing, And then it's fucking great. Queens of the Stone Age is a great fucking band.
Yeah, he only did one album with them, though.
Right, but still, it's a great fucking band.
Yeah.
Foo Fighters is a great fucking band, though I don't care for them as much as I do a lot of the other ones, or a lot of other bands. You have to appreciate Foo Fighters for Dave Grohl's musical talents.
Mm-hmm.
Fucker knows multiple instruments, fucking broke his leg, and still fucking toured on a throne.
That was the best. That was the absolute best.
How many other fucking major artists, though, that we love would have said, I broke my leg, sorry, the tour's over.
Yeah, no, instead he makes a giant throne for his live show, and it is absolutely magnificent. And he plays from that throne. Like, Dave Grohl, he's one of the best guys.
Best guys.
He's really one of the best guys. But another album that really disappointed me. So recently, I went and finally watched Nick Maxon had an episode of All Around Music, which is another podcast here in town, which has Matt Walker on it. I don't know if you remember him he was at McCutcheon. Mm-hmm. But at some point they talked about their top albums, either all time or from last year or something like that. And one of the albums on both lists, which from both hosts of All Around Music, was Incubus 8. I love Incubus. I have not kept up with Incubus.
I don't love Incubus. I appreciate Incubus.
I love Morning View and Make Yourself. Make Yourself has Drive and Stellar and Pardon Me, all the giant fucking hits. So I had already heard great things about Incubus 8. I see it as on both of their top lists. I'm like, this album has to be fucking great. So I went ahead and got it. Is it great? I don't think so. I was majorly disappointed with this album. I consider it the same as fucking Concrete and Gold. Like, it had some okay rockin' songs, and then it had a lot of really experimental songs, which is not surprising from Incubus to me. So, yeah. It was just such a disappointment and such a bummer. So, moving forward and on to more music still, my band, The Fallen Mind, we went strong for a couple years in terms of recording music and putting it on the internet. Recorded about 4 or 5 songs. Then we kind of called it quits. Not exactly quits, but we just didn't do anything. We never played live. We were just a recording thing. And so one of the songs that we recorded and released was a song called Casting Shadows. And I always considered that like the pinnacle of my musical career, I guess. And I didn't write the song. I didn't write any of the lyrics. I changed a few lyrics, but I didn't write the song. However, I did record the vocals for it, and I loved the song then. I thought it was amazing then, and I thought I wanted to play that song live so bad and bring it to the people, but it never happened. So not long ago, Will, the other person in The Fallen Mind, he hit me up. He says, hey, I re-recorded all the parts. It sounds way better. I want to do a playthrough video of it. Can you just send me a video of you like singing to it? Like, and I'll just, or singing to your original vocals. And I'm like, why don't I just re-record the vocals? Because 1, I'm a better vocalist now. 2, I have better recording gear, and I know I'm much more knowledgeable. So I went ahead and re-recorded all the parts, sent it over to him, and I shot the video. Well, here today, on the live stream, you get to see the video and the actual audio portion. I'm just gonna split it all up and insert the song within, and so you won't get to hear any commentary. The audio portion won't get to hear any commentary we have, but live, yeah, you're going to get the actual video. So without further ado, this is The Fallen Mind, Casting Shadows, 2018. And here we go. Yeah, that was The Fallen Mind, Casting Shadows. I'm very fucking proud of that song, both versions of it. Do you have any comment, Tyler?
I really dug it.
Yeah, sweet.
I didn't shit on it while I was listening to it,
I
so
appreciate
that
that.
immediately means I dug it.
That is available. If you go to the actual video on the Fallen Minds page, there is a link to download that for free. So if you dig that and you want that as part of something, as part of your listening pleasure at your listening leisure, go ahead and go give that a download. Oh, what are you doing over there, man?
I had a notification on my phone that said moisture detected in charging port.
Oh shit!
So I had to.
So you've been performing surgery.
I had to do a little bit of emergency surgery on my phone there.
I noticed. You motioned to me like, keep talking.
Yeah. Well, it was gonna I was gonna be focused on it if I didn't fix it immediately. So
Yeah.
I apologize for having to divert my attention away from the popcast, as my wife calls it. But I'm interested to hear more of this Fallen Mind stuff because you've talked about it, and I always make fun of you while you're talking about it. But don't take that as me not wanting to listen to it. We have this very unique relationship where
We do.
like we're best friend level friendship, but at the same time, like even though you're older than me, I'm older than you, like in life experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like your
We
older.
got a cool dynamic. I like.
I'm like your older brother, and I have to, because I've done more adult shit than you have, so I have to try and steer you down the right path.
No, the Fallen Mind. It was always a really fun project because everything Will sent me, it didn't sound like anything else that was going on in this local scene.
Mm-hmm.
So I always wanted to bring it live so bad.
Do it.
Just because he won't do it.
Why?
One, he doesn't. Well, one, he used to be part of a band called The Shipwrecked, and he always hated playing live because he would just get super nervous. And on top of that, it's hard to find musicians that will learn it and practice and getting everybody on board. But
do a 2-man show.
I wish I would totally do it. I would do it in any form.
There's nothing wrong with a drum machine.
I know Car Door Dick Smash does it.
That's what I was getting ready to say it.
Computer is the star of the show there. But no, like I said, no one else sounds like us, and we bring a level of heaviness that's just unheard of. It's a type of heaviness that's unheard of, and it's cool because it has its moments where it's super heavy and super brutal, and then it has those like really soft moments like the chorus in that song.
I really dug the chorus.
Yeah,
there.
thank you.
That
was one of the parts I wrote.
So I am, and it might just be me being basic.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have say I'm listening to just a single.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to the single and I'm digging, everything about it. And then the chorus is really weak.
I get you.
I'm not going to enjoy that song as
choruses
much.
have to be big.
Even if the lyrics are very deep and complex and very well written, I'm going to struggle with that song a little bit. If the chorus is really, really strong, but the overall lyrics throughout the rest of the song are a little bit weak or maybe not as good as what the chorus is, I find myself leaning more towards Forgiveness because the chorus is so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really dug the chorus on that. So
when he originally sent the song to me, he sent the instrumental, and then he's like, "All right, but I wrote lyrics to it. You're allowed to write your own thing and do whatever you want with it, but this is what it originally was." And he sent me the actual song with him on vocals, and like, he's not a vocalist. I like his screams because they're very raw.
have you ever thought about doing an overlay of both of you two together
That'd be interesting.
with the original and then
That'd be interesting.
you coming in over top of his original?
I've done that. The funny story
That goes back to what I said earlier. I really dig when you have good harmonies.
Yes.
But if you have almost alpha and omega, the beginning and the end type of thing
That'd be cool.
with two different types of vocals being overlaid together, you know, it might not be harmonizing, but at the same time, you're getting heads and tails.
Yeah.
You know, so I dig stuff like that. Maybe you might try it. Do it if you want. Talk to him.
The original was just him screaming.
I would
through.
like to hear the original if you have it.
I do. I'll look for it while I'm explaining it. But the original was just him screaming all the way through, including that the chorus. Mm-hmm. And the chorus was originally just the sun won't ever shine part repeated. I changed the lyrics and I sung it. And he's like, dude, you nailed it. Spot on. That is what I always heard, but I don't know how to sing. So I just screamed it. And you nailed it spot on. That is exactly how I always heard it in my head. And I'm like, thank you. That's
cool.
That's awesome.
Thumbs up for me.
Right
I
on,
did
dude.
stuff.
I did a thing. Oh, I hope I can find this.
You don't have to look for it right now. But, yeah, dude, I really dug it. And I legitimately dug it. I'm not just saying it because we're
I appreciate
life
it.
partners and we're on the podcast together.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to find this because it's really cool. I don't know if I'm going to find it.
You don't have to do it right now.
I'll find it eventually.
We have the rest of our lives for you to find that.
No, our other songs, the next song we're redoing is a song called Nevermore, which is actually the last song I did with them. And that's a song that I put a lot of my personal feelings into. Dealt with me. I've talked about this on the show before, I think. And it talked about like a relationship that I had that just ended. And it ended at a time where I needed it most. And so
those are the times that
Yeah.
that make us strongest.
there is a ton of emotion, and and I actually am really proud of the lyrics I wrote for it, and like, it's cool. It's a cool song.
People take for granted how hard it is to write lyrics.
Oh, it is, and I have the hardest time nowadays.
People take for granted how hard it is to write in general. Mm-hmm. You know, we're in the talk to text age where no one actually writes things down. And having the ability to write complex things and even write simple things, it's an art. And,
Honestly,
you know, I've
yeah.
said it 7 times in the same sentence, but people take it for granted and they don't appreciate it the way that they should.
Word.
Especially, you know, in
Word.
music. In music, there's so many songwriters for artists. You know, the songwriter is recognized most of the time, I would say, in the industry, but not to the public.
Yes.
So you look at your pop hits and stuff like that. Most of the artists don't write those songs. I hate to burst people's bubbles, but yeah, thumbs up for you, sir,
Thank you. Thank
and
you.
for him.
Yeah, he is the genius behind all of this. He writes the music, and
He looks very familiar.
I don't think you would know him, honestly.
You underestimate my
Will
power.
Werlein. Yeah. Yeah, he's the genius behind all of it. And he sent me a lot of instrumentals since Nevermore, which was the last one, and I haven't been able to write to him because
you're a piece of shit.
and because I've had the hardest time writing the last couple years. We now have the Super Nugget Bros from 450 North.
It's a nugget, man. You know I'm gonna like it.
It is a double dry hopped double IPA featuring Galaxy, Mosaic, and Simcoe hops.
Aren't the Galaxy hops the ones you don't like?
I hate Galaxy hops, but maybe they mesh well with others. We're gonna see.
Unlike me.
I'm pretty sure I've had Super Nugget Bros before, on a Brews with Dudes episode, or just trying it at Nick's place.
I just want to point out how fucking badass 450 is with their stickers, their labels. They fucking nail it, man.
Oh yeah. All right, let's dig into this.
Oh,
That's good.
that's really good.
That's really fucking good.
It almost has a little bit of a heat to it.
Mm-hmm. It does.
It kind of hits you in the back of the throat.
I wasn't a giant fan of this the first time I tasted it, but you know, this is the second iteration of it, and
Everything's better with me.
I dig it. I really dig it.
You're starting to use my verbiage.
I really enjoy doing things with you, Tyler, but I don't. This is fun. This is good. I like this beer.
I like this. This
like
is good.
this.
I have this. This is good.
They're doing their corn maze. Their
Corn Maze Beer Fest.
yes, in October 6th, I believe. Several brewing companies from around the state are going to be within this maze, and we got to find them. And tickets are like $40 for general admission, VIP 60. Literally the only difference between VIP and general is
You get in early.
You get in an hour and a half earlier, and I guess during that time, that's when the brewing companies are going to be tapping their specialty beers. But both VIP and general get a special 4-pack of a beer that 450 North is brewing for that event. And Nick said he went last year and he had a blast.
So my good friend Andrew Dietrich and I planned on going
Last year?
last year.
No shit.
It's the fucking Corn Maze Beer Fest. Why would you not go?
Did you know? But you didn't know about 450 North.
Nope.
You're just like, oh, Corn Maze. Beer
No,
Fest.
I saw Beer Fest,
Yeah.
not Corn Maze.
I get you.
Him and I saw Beer Fest, and our wives saw Corn Maze.
Mm-hmm.
So we planned on going. We both ended up having stuff come up and weren't able to go because it was earlier in the year last year. But I was really bummed that I didn't get to go. I'm going to do everything in my power to go this year. You know, it's in October now. Hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler. Because it gets
8.5.
Because it gets fucking hot in the corn, man.
This is 8.5.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Are you fucking wasty pants over
No,
there?
this
Jesus
I will be
Christ.
after this because I haven't eaten in a while.
I haven't eaten in days.
I wanted to eat before this, but life came up. So
I had some Cheez-Its.
lucky. I had some leftover pizza. Normally I get the pizza after, but yesterday I was feeling extra lazy, and
Yeah.
Andy was going out for pizza, and I'm like, "Here's $5. Get me a pizza too."
Feed me.
Feed me. Yeah.
But yeah, I can honestly say this is probably not my favorite nugget from the nugget series, but I will tell you this, I like this more than the cookies and cream nuggets, which I brought tonight, and I will not be drinking because you have graciously provided me with enough beer to...
Which was graciously brought to me from the Brews with Dudes crew. I brought Nick hopefully some beer that will be on Brews with Dudes from Columbus, Ohio, from Wolf Ridge Brewing Company.
I see my cousin Holly has commented. What say she?
Good old Indiana and its cornfields. It gets hot in them? ? Exclamation point.
Holly used to live in fucking Indiana. You know it gets hot here.
Yes.
Imagine hot in the corn. It's fucking no air movement, no airflow.
Much hot, such humid.
Jennifer's here.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, where the fuck you been at?
What the fuck? So earlier today, we almost had Richard on tonight.
Rollo the Destroyer.
Rollo the Destroyer was almost on tonight, and we never told him. Luckily, he had a really great achievement today, which I'll get to here in a second. But no, I asked Jennifer. I was like, Jennifer, huh?
What'd Holly say?
What'd Holly say? True. Okay. Good point. Haha.
Thank you.
But I asked Jennifer coming back from lunch today. I said, Jennifer, you were probably our third biggest fan. Which would you rather see? An episode with me, Tyler, and Richard, or just me and Tyler? She said me and Tyler. So
Even though she won't speak to me, she really likes me as a deep down.
She says, sorry, trying to put her daughter to bed. Excuses.
All I'm hearing is excuses.
Yeah, that's all I'm hearing. Excuses. You've had 2 hours. You've had an hour and 41 minutes to try and to watch this.
Satiate your child.
Yeah. So that's on you. That's on you.
Oh no.
But no, Richard had a really awesome achievement today. He went to court. I don't know if we should broadcast his life.
No, we don't need to broadcast his life. But in the state of Indiana, more so than not, regardless of the scenario and the variables, almost always the mother gets custody of the child, and he won custody of one of his children.
He won full custody.
Full custody. And that is an achievement. That's all I'm going to say about
that-
Richard because that's his life.
Yeah, that's an awesome achievement.
But
I'm
congratulations to
really
you, dude, because you're doing some good stuff.
I'm really happy for him. We have a trailer we want to watch.
We do have a trailer we want to watch. I want to make one final statement about the Rollo the Destroyer stuff.
Yeah, go for it.
I have a very strong opinion about people not fucking raising their goddamn kids. Raise your fucking kids, people. You fucking made them. It's not your mom's responsibility. It's not your dad's responsibility. It's not your brothers and sisters, your fucking nieces and nephews. They're your fucking kids. Raise them. Grow up. Be a fucking adult. Get your goddamn life together and raise your fucking kids.
Yes.
Be good people. Be a regular gay. Be a regular gal.
Jennifer says, I've tried to get Tyler to conversate with me. Either he wasn't in the mood or I'm not a good conversationalist.
What?
LOL.
What? What? No.
Good comeback.
No, you.
Good comeback, bro.
Just be ready, Jennifer. I'm going to have some conversation stuff coming your way the next time we work together.
We also have Mr. Josh McKinney, former guest. Hopefully a guest again sometime soon. I don't know. It depends on if we can get him to my home.
He did the emoji thing that you always do.
Oh, I know. He that's where I got it from. I got it from
I
him.
figured you didn't come up with that on your own.
Fuck off. No, he's making very suggestive emoji.
Hey Josh, which one are you making the suggestive emojis towards? Blaine or myself?
Yeah. Are you making keep on chatting us up.
Speaking of something, I have to say this because I told Calvin this today and he almost lost his fucking mind.
Yeah.
Joe and I got into it last week.
Oh?
It was really petty and stupid, but we got into it and he honestly
He says put out. Josh says put out.
He told me he thought that he was better looking than me. And
What the fuck?
He honestly believed that. He fucking said it with 100% certainty that he was better looking than me.
Joe, my future roommate, I will put this on the internet right now. You are not nearly as good looking as Tyler.
And I'm fat.
And he's
so
fat.
And I'm fat.
He's not even fat. You're not fat.
I'm just husky.
You're just husky. He is Adonis, god damn it.
Think back to the husky jeans of the fucking 90s. Anyway,
so
let's watch this trailer.
Let's watch this trailer.
This movie's called Hereditary.
I have never heard of this.
It is a horror film. It was teased last year. I can't remember if it was mid to late last year, but it was slated for release like first quarter of this year. And then if my information's correct, it was pushed back. So I think it's going to come out late summer now, but it's very intriguing. So let's take a peek here.
Come on, Peter. Here's your suit.
It's heartening to see so many strange new faces here today. I know my mom would be very touched and probably a little suspicious. My mother was a very secretive and private woman. You were her favorite, right? Even when you were a little baby, she wouldn't let me feed you because she needed to feed you. She was a very difficult woman, which maybe explains me.
I recognize you from your mother.
What? Sometimes I swear I can feel her in the room.
Dude, this kid is really creepy.
Mm-hmm. Did you see her just cutting a pigeon's head off with scissors?
She had private rituals, private friends.
Who's gonna take care of me?
That's
You're
cool.
gonna take care of you?
But when you die,
She wasn't altogether there. At the end. I just don't want to put any more stress on my family.
So that was the short trailer. They released a new trailer yesterday. That's about another minute and a half long. That is basically the same trailer. It's cut up a little bit different, and they add, I would say, a dozen more new scenes to it. But it's a really interesting idea.
I am very, very intrigued by that.
Are you? I didn't
Yes.
think that you would be.
I am not a big horror guy, but that looks
So
really fucking
the
good.
premise of the movie, the grandmother passes away, and then all of the themes that the director and producer and reviewers put, you know how they always add stuff while a trailer's being cut up, like the best movie since yada yada.
Yeah.
The theme is it really puts you in touch with the demons that your parents have left behind. So I don't know if this is going to be like a ghost movie or like
do you think they mean like literally?
I think they mean literal demons.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because
That's so
throughout the
cool.
trailer you heard them say, you know, my mother had private rituals and private friends. So it's almost like a Paranormal Activity type vibe that I'm getting
so you think,
from
like,
it.
literal rituals.
Yes. And there's a lot of cool imagery in the trailer. You see the mother. I assume her job is something dollhouse related. She's got the magnifying
But
glass.
what if that's just like a regular, like a hobby?
It could be a hobby.
like a weird, fucked up hobby.
Right, because that is a weird, fucked up hobby. But the actress that plays the granddaughter or the daughter of the child, I'm not gonna critique her. She looks like she has some sort of birth defect with her face. She
Yeah.
looks very different opposed to.
Yeah, she looks very panda-like.
I wouldn't go that far, but you can obviously tell a difference between her and
Yes.
a run-of-the-mill child. So much like A Quiet Place,
That actually looked like a lot of prosthetic too.
yeah.
Yeah, she had prosthetic
Well, we don't know that.
face alterations.
We don't know.
It
that.
looks like it. Honestly, it looks.
It looks like it, but we don't know that.
no.
But
Actress wise,
actress-wise, yeah, we don't know that. But we talked about it last week. One of the things that I appreciated so much about A Quiet Place is the actress that plays the young girl, the daughter in the film, actually was deaf, so it fit very well with the theme. She did a fantastic job. Yada yada, the whole spiel from last week. But I'm really interested to see how prevalent her character is in the film, because you see the Indian actor.
yes.
I don't know his name because I don't know a lot about this film. I just remember seeing the teaser
It's the
last
first I've
year.
seen of it. I didn't even see a teaser.
I saw the teaser last year. I can't remember. I think I might have saw it just like on one of the YouTube Red Band trailers. You know that they always release every day, shit like that. But now that I saw the updated trailer yesterday, I'm that much more excited for it.
I'm very excited just for that trailer we just watched. Yeah, we finally got.
Oh, God, Joe.
We talk about Joe, and he shows up in the chat. What do you know? He's never in the chat. This is like literally the first time he's said more than just one thing and left. He says she looks like Tiffany, which is the panda.
She doesn't look that bad.
She doesn't look that bad. But no, Joe, if you're still watching, you are not nearly as good looking as this guy right here. This Adonis
That's me.
that I'm pointing at.
Fat young John Samos.
That guy right there. My life partner.
Look at my hair.
It's glorious.
Anyway.
Maybe it's heritage. Maybe it's Maybelline.
But yeah, so I'm really excited for that. The horror genre is kind of stale right now. And there's been a lot of bad movies the last 4 or 5 years.
I'm so tired of Purge movies. I'm so tired of the
Well, and
most
I'm not
recent
even.
one.
See, the sad thing is, I'm not even tired of the Purge movies.
I haven't seen any of them, but I don't want to.
They're not. No. Watch
They're
them.
good?
They're not the good.
All
the
right.
first one is good. The second one's not bad. they just announced a prequel Purge
Yes, I saw
movie.
that. I'm intrigued.
It takes place during the first Purge, so I will watch it. I definitely won't go see it in theaters, but
The most recent one, horror movie or fucking scare tactic movie I've seen, Truth or Dare. Miranda really...
You watched that?
No, it's not out. No, it just came out.
It came out Friday the 13th.
Okay, so Miranda really wants to see that. I have absolutely no desire to see it.
Skylar wants to see
That
it too.
movie looks like just complete garbage. Maybe they can go together.
Or maybe we can just go and sit next to each other.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it at all. I could care less about
Be
this
a
fucking
regular
movie.
gay.
I don't fucking care about this movie. Like,
It looks interesting.
No, it doesn't look interesting at all.
No,
to me.
it does because you have to look past the actual movie trailer itself. You have to look at the concept. Like, you bring somebody into your friend group, they're a stranger. You know, think about the first time you and I met. What if the first time that I met you, I said, "Hey, I'm having a group of friends hang out tonight. Why don't you come?" And you show up, and then
I put a curse on all of you.
Well, no. I'm the guy that puts a curse on you, and I look at you and say, "Sorry, guys.
Sorry about you. Fuck yourself."
Yeah,
Bye.
this is on you now. I'm out of here." You know, and then it's actually a cool concept. You know, I can't imagine that the movie is Oscar worthy by any means because horror films have a hard time with that anyway.
You know, even with you like explain and like telling, like
I'm trying to sell it to you.
Even with you trying to sell it to me, I have still no desire to see it.
No, I definitely get you. Don't get me wrong. I'm one of the few people out there that appreciate the Paranormal Activity movies. I really dig the Insidious movies. And it all goes back to you have to look past what it's initially advertised as. You have to appreciate the cast and the writing. And, you know, the whole... I was involved in the filmmaking. My life plan for a long time was to be involved in the filmmaking industry,
which is what my buddy Austin Welch does,
Mm-hmm.
and it's great that he's actually out there doing it.
Yeah, props to you. But yeah, so there's a lot of that still left in me, and more times than I should, I get drawn into, well, I really appreciated this part, but I hated this part, and then it skews my overall opinion of a movie. Mm-hmm. But the horror industry, you know, we have the Halloween remakes that weren't very good. We have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remakes that weren't very good.
I like the first Halloween remake. The first Rob Zombie Halloween, good.
I didn't.
Second,
I didn't dig it, man. No. When I was a kid and I watched the original Halloween and then I started watching the sequels, and then, you know, when it gets to like Halloween H2O, it gets to be pretty bad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, not only was I burnt out on Halloween so one of the things I was going to bring up tonight, and unfortunately we've run out of time, so
we still have one thing we definitely have to bring up.
Yeah, but, you know, as far as the topic that I wanted to bring up, I wanted to talk about science fiction movies, and I'll table that until next week.
Okay.
But one of the things I appreciated about a lot of recent science fiction movies, the villain or the antagonist is not something that you like. Think about movies where the entity that's killing people is like a virus.
Yeah.
Or it's not something physical that you can reach out and touch. Because one of the biggest issues I have with horror movies, get some motherfucking guns and shoot some fucking shit. There's a creature coming after you, fight that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Kill that motherfucker.
100%, yes.
And that's part of the reason I have such a problem with the horror industry. When you think about movies like Insidious or The Exorcism, where you have demonic entities or ghosts or what have you possessing children. And my good friend Andrew Dietrich and I have had this conversation many times, like we have about life and all kinds of things. Say your child is possessed by a demon, and it's killing people, and it's trying to do you harm. How do you handle that?
I mean,
do you kill your child?
there is a divide within yourself because one, that's your child. First and foremost, that's your child. That's something that you created and raised and
that's the stance
developed.
that he took, and the stance that I took was,
well, I'm not done.
Well, I know.
Yeah, I'm not done. So there's that. That's the one part, and then there's this other part where there's this evil within it, and it is causing harm. It is killing. It is destroying. And
at what point does it no longer become your child?
Exactly. That was the next.
And that's
thing I
the
was gonna
stance
say.
that I took on it.
At what point does it not become your child? Because what if there is a chance you can get rid of the evil within? What if? But what if you can't?
Right.
What if that is so ingrained, so that it is taken?
Well, what if
root?
there's literally not a way to get rid of it?
Yeah,
you know,
you have no choice.
That's right.
But that is something that is such a hard choice to
and,
make.
And the debate
That's the dilemma.
The debate that we got into was, so we understand the stance that we take if it's our child. What if it's your child and I'm the one that it's trying to do harm? Do I kill your kid? Well, is it still a child at that point? You know, so our minds are not built to handle issues like this, and that's part of the reason.
No, they're not. But so I don't have children. You have children, but
so imagine if my child was trying to kill you. Do you kill my kid?
No, I'm still thinking from the standpoint of my child's trying to kill you.
That's fine.
I've always looked at things very realistically. I've always had a
black and white.
Not even black and white, just a clear mind about things. And I think if my child was going around killing things, and you were to happen to defend yourself and kill my child because it was trying to kill you, I'd be pretty bummed about my kid being dead. But I think you would have every right because you're defending yourself.
That definitely is the moral dilemma, though. But what I was getting at is that's one of the things that I've appreciated in the horror genre over the last 5 or 6 years. There's been a lot of movies that have pushed that moral dilemma.
Yeah.
Much like The Exorcism did way back when. But the genre as a whole is kind of stale. One of the movies, and it's not a very well reviewed movie, and it's not a very good movie overall. But I think it's called. Is it The Visitors?
Oh yeah.
Is that the one I'm thinking of, where the kids go to stay with the grandparents?
You can't ask me because I don't know, but the name sounds familiar.
So the movie that I'm trying to remember
Visitors or Visitation?
I think it's The Visitors. But 2 children go to stay with their grandparents for the weekend, and come to find out by the end of the movie, the people. So these are grandparents that they've never met.
I'm gonna cut you off real quick.
Go ahead.
2 hours and 5 minutes into the live stream, and Pod Daddy Nate finally joins.
Nice to have you, Nate.
Yeah, thank you for making your weekly appearance. We appreciate you, Nate. Go on.
I thought it was The Visitors. Anyway, 2 children go to stay for a weekend with grandparents that they've never met. And by the end of the film, the kids unearth this mystery and realize that the grandparents that they've been staying with and doing all this freaky shit are actually escaped mental asylum patients, and they murdered their grandparents and took their place. And then they have to escape, and
fuck.
So that as a horror film is very unique. Though the film was not very good, it was one of those shot from the first person angle a lot of times.
Really?
Much like Paranormal Activity and Cloverfield and stuff like that. So
from like a camera perspective.
Yes. I call that first person because just imagine you holding a camera. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't a terrible movie, and it reviewed very, very poorly. God, it's not The Visitors.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Name-wise, I know what you're talking about. I'm just not a huge fan of horror in general. I like slasher films. Like, I like the old Freddy and Jason
See, but
movies.
that's Freddy's different, but like Jason, that's the problem that I have with slasher films. Fucking defend yourself. Don't fucking run and fall down.
There have been times where they've defended themselves and quite frankly died. There was in the very first Jason movie I ever saw, so the very first Jason movie I ever saw was Jason
It's
X.
The Visit.
Oh,
The Visit is the name of the movie.
Okay, the very first Jason movie I saw was Jason X. That prompted,
The space one.
Yes.
Okay.
The really, really bad one.
Really bad one.
But I was very young. But yeah, Skylar even said The Visit.
Thank you, Skylar.
We needed you like 5 minutes ago.
Yes.
Thanks. So I saw Jason X, and then I became obsessed with Jason. I was like, this is so fucking cool. This is so fucking cool. I want to watch all the others. So what's the next one I watch? Friday the 13th, 8. Jason Takes New York.
Oh, God.
And in that movie, they're on the cast is on this ship that's going to New York City, and they don't even make it to New York until like the very end.
Right.
They're on the ship the whole time.
Yeah, so the major slasher films, Freddy, Jason, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not so much that one, but that's the problem with those films. They get so far into Freddy 8 that the plot is so convoluted and the movie is so terrible and they've lost their luster so much.
But that was the thing back then.
Right.
Back then, people could take repetition like
But
that.
we're getting to that point now, especially with the remakes. We have directors and producers saying, okay, we're going to go back and we're going to basically start this over again. And we're going to get right back there. You know, I personally loved Freddy vs. Jason. I did too. We had some great sweater meat.
Yes, Monica Keena, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. We had some actual good writing, you know, not the whole film, but throughout it there was actually some good things to pick and piece together.
And we got Robert Englund, fucking Freddy.
Yeah, and then you had arguably the two greatest slasher film villains ever.
Yes.
You know, Michael Myers is definitely there. For a long time they talked about having
wanted Freddy versus Jason since Jason Goes to Hell, where at the very end, Jason's mask is sitting on the ground and Freddy's claws come up from basically hell from the ground and drag it down.
Yep.
Holy fuck.
For a long time, they talked about making a sequel to that where it was Freddy versus Jason versus Michael, and it was all three of them. I would really like to see that for my own enjoyment more than anything, because I dug the Freddy versus Jason film so much. But it's just, like I said, it's just very stale. And with Halloween getting a reboot, hopefully we get a... I think they're going to do the Halloween reboot justice.
I'll watch it regardless because it's updated, it's new. I can watch it. I have a hard time watching older movies, and I always have.
Mm-hmm.
And I've found that if I do watch them, if I just suck it up and watch it, I do enjoy it.
Right.
For the most part, like 90% of the time. I think the only time I've had a hard time watching something that was older but is like considered a cult classic or a classic, my girlfriend Miranda, one of our first dates, you could call it, was she came over here and we watched The Crow.
Watch Gone with the Wind.
I've watched Gone with the Wind.
And you didn't have a problem with that?
I don't know. It's been a long time.
But, frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Why, I do declare, Miss Beauregard.
But no, Miranda and I watched The Crow, and boy, oh boy, was I...
boy, oh boy.
Boy, oh boy, was I disappointed.
That movie is a cult classic for a reason.
You know, I'm sure it was...
A lot of it is Jason... Or,
you were about to say Jason Momoa. No, it was Brandon Reed.
No,
Brandon Lee.
I was going to say Jason Scott Lee, you fuck.
Okay.
Not Jason Momoa.
Okay. Fair.
It is
Brandon
Brandon
Lee.
Lee. Jason Scott Lee is a lot of times confused as Bruce Lee's son, and he's not. Baxter really wants out of this room.
I look over and Baxter's just staring at the door.
He's pawed at it a couple times. I've been watching him.
Oh, poor guy. I'm going to let him out.
We're almost done.
Get out of here. Go forth.
God damn it.
Go forth, my child.
But yeah, I feel like we could have an episode entirely devoted to horror and science fiction, and I would
Yeah.
ramble way too much. So I've talked enough about that. I think the industry is stale. It needs a little bit of breath or a little bit of life breathed back into it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
That's my spiel.
Okay. So do we want to go forward or do you want to end this episode?
We've got one more topic. Let's
we got
nail
one more
it out.
topic. All right. We're going to try to make this quick. So you wanted to do something today.
Yep.
And it comes from something you tagged me in.
Yep.
It's one of those like, okay, you get $15 and you have these choices. Each tier, there's tiers of choices with dollar values.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna change this up a bit. All right, so we're gonna assemble our ultimate dark side team, Star Wars. We're talking Star Wars here now. Joe Grimes says, "Thou shalt speak ill. Thou shalt speak ill of the crow." I think he meant "thou shalt not."
You forgot a knot, Joe,
Yeah,
but
you
we know
suck.
what you meant.
Yeah, and you still suck. So we're gonna assemble our ultimate Star Wars dark side team.
Because the dark side is the true
The
path.
dark side is the best. So the way I'm gonna do this,
Okay.
we have we're going rule of 2.
Okay.
Rule of 2 plus. Okay? So we're going to have a master, an apprentice,
Okay.
a general,
Okay.
an underling,
Okay.
and a droid.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. I'm gonna have. Oh shit. I'm gonna have.
Keep in mind, there are some masters that were once apprentices.
I'm gonna stick with what I said initially. I'm going to have Starkiller and Maul.
But who's the master and who's the apprentice?
I would put Maul as the master and Starkiller as the apprentice.
Interesting. But Maul was never a master.
But he could have been.
He could have been, but he
And
never was.
technically, he was a master. He was Savage's master.
Was he?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
How was he not?
You know, I'm not gonna go.
You know, the
I'm not
the
gonna-
Night Sisters allowed Savage to dive deeper into his Force powers, and then Maul taught him the ways of the Sith. So I'm going to put Maul as Starkiller's master because Starkiller is more a gray Jedi than anything. And
Fair.
And he knows that there are things that Maul could teach him that Vader did not.
Starkiller represents the absolute limits of the Force.
Yes.
And the fact that he broke the limits of the
Yep.
Force.
He oh my god, there was a quote that I was gonna say that you made me think of, and now I can't remember. So anyway, I'm gonna put Maul as master. However long that may be, I can't say because Starkiller has so much fucking rage.
Starkiller is not only proficient in lightsaber combat, which is where Maul he's a master of lightsaber combat. He's a master of combat, martial arts. Starkiller is also a master in the Force.
Yep.
So he would just absolutely destroy Maul if he was still canon.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that, but he would know that he
No competition.
But he would know that he has something to learn from Maul, however long that may be.
I destroyed the super nugget, bro.
I'm about halfway through.
I destroyed it way faster than the hazy powder.
But so I would put Starkiller or Maul as master, Starkiller as apprentice, and then you said general.
General, yes.
I would put shit. I would put Jango Fett as general.
Django? Really? He's more of like an underling or a bounty. He's a bounty hunter, so he doesn't.
He's
really...
a Mandalorian. They're all generals. masters of warfare.
Yeah.
They're all
okay.
fucking generals. He took the mantle of Jaster Muriel.
Okay. I don't know much about Django.
Oh, I know
I'll
a
give you-
lot
I'll
about
give you
fucking
this.
Mandalorian. So
I know a lot of Mandalorian too. I don't know much about Django.
I would put Django as the general.
I
and
know
then-
more. I know more like Old Republic Mandalorian, like
I know-
Knights of the Old Republic and before.
So I would put Django as my general. I would put, and then you said underling and then droid, right? Mm-hmm. Ooh. I would probably put. That's tough. It would be a tie for me between Dirge and a tie between Dirge and either Dengar or Bosk as the underling.
Okay.
All three fantastic bounty hunters. You know, as long as they're getting paid, they'll do whatever they have to do.
Yeah.
I think it would more so be Bosk and Dirge than Dengar, but Dengar's definitely up there.
Okay.
And then the droid, it has to be IG-88.
I don't know IG-88.
So in Empire Strikes Back, when Han says we ran into that bounty hunter on Ord Mantell,
Yeah.
that's IG-88.
Okay.
So when you get the panel of all the bounty hunters, and it
Yeah,
goes from
yeah, I
right
get
to
you.
left, the droid that has almost the 55-gallon drum body, and then the really skinny head that has all the little red lights on it,
okay.
with the really long blaster. That's IG-88.
Okay. All right, let's go down the line. Master, Darth Revan. You knew that was coming.
Yeah, I knew it.
You knew that was coming. I have a harder time with The Apprentice. Part of me wants to go Sidious, Emperor Palpatine.
Really?
Just for his manipulation in his mind. I say him because he's been both Master and Apprentice, and he's been shown in both of those lights.
Right.
With the Darth Plagueis book.
I could very
That was a great book, by the way.
very easily see Kylo as Revan's apprentice. I didn't mean to hijack it from you,
No,
but
I didn't even think of that. But then you got Vader.
Vader's always been the master, though.
No, he is not.
He is the master.
He's been I wouldn't even call him an apprentice. I would call him an enforcer. Because at that point, the rule of two was over. Despite there being a rule, despite there being a master and apprentice, the rule of two was over.
I've always looked at Vader as the master.
If you read,
he could have taken down Palpatine anytime he wanted.
Oh, without doubt. Despite his mechanical limitations. However, so if you've read the Darth Plagueis book,
which I haven't, it's definitely in my queue.
Oh no, read it as soon as possible. Another suggestion: play Knights of the Old Republic, and play Knights of the Old Republic 2, and then read Revan. Excellent book that connects both of those and goes beyond. Because there's a lot of questions you have. That if you play both games, there are a lot of fucking questions you have, and Revan answers them.
Cool.
Going back to Plagueis. So Plagueis, by the time Darth Plagueis defeated or killed his master and essentially became the master, and he was seeking out an apprentice, he had basically either foreseen or decided the rule of two ended with him. He decided that everything that had led up to him, all the Sith legacy led to him, and he was gonna be the one that ended the rule of two and ended the Jedi, and it decided the rule of the galaxy under the Sith.
So back to what the Sith originally were.
Yeah. He Bane's legacy was him.
How can okay? I got to interrupt. How have neither of us talked about Bane?
Oh boy, I've read those books, and those are some good books.
Bane is such a
Drew
fucking badass.
Karpyshyn, the writer of the story that
Mass
was
Effect.
Mass Effect.
Karpyshyn wrote Mass Effect.
I think Brandon told me that. Mm-hmm. Brando told me that, but Karpyshyn also wrote Knights of the Old Republic.
Yep.
And he wrote Revan. He wrote the Darth Bane series. He wrote a couple of the Old Republic books that involves the Old Republic game, the MMO. But Darth Plagueis, he considered himself the end of the line, him and his apprentice. And the way he set it up was he was going to be the master, and his apprentice was going to be the face. He was going to pull the strings behind the scenes. And that's essentially what it was.
Right.
And Darth Plagueis, it connects so many dots that the prequels create. You watch the prequels years and years ago, and then you read Darth Plagueis, and you're like, holy shit, this happened because of this? Wow. So, and so you see Sidious in this light of the apprentice, but at the same time, he's this political mastermind. He's this manipulative mastermind, not only because he's really good at it, but because Plagueis has been instructing him to do things.
Yep.
Plagueis was also in plain sight. He was considered one of the heads of the intergalactic banking clan or whatever from Moon. He's a Moonalist, or he's a Moon from Moonalist, and so I want to say Sidious as the apprentice because he is a genius. He not only gained all this power of manipulation from his master, but he was already groomed to be a political figure.
Right.
Like he was sent to some basically a fucking senator camp for summer or whatever.
Senator Summer Camp.
Yeah, Senator Summer Camp, and he was groomed to be a senator. He was groomed to be a political figure. So he was already very proficient in politics. So move that forward. Now you're good. Move that forward. He's a genius. But now that you bring Kylo Ren into the fold, that's great. Joe says, go outside and play hide and go fuck yourselves. Awesome.
Come up with a new one, Joe.
That's one I've been saying for years. I'm pretty sure you heard it from me. I can't take credit for that, but I might. So we got Master and Apprentice.
General.
Master, Apprentice. Who did I pick for Apprentice? I haven't picked. I'm going to go with Sidious. That was
Yeah,
my pick.
Palpatine. I thought that's what you said.
I never officially decided on it once you said Kylo Ren. I was like, fuck.
I bet you're going with Thrawn for General.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Thrawn. Even though I'm not a big fan of Thrawn.
He doesn't fucking do anything.
But he's a genius. He's very...
I made my list based on combat.
I know you did.
You made your list
I specifically
based on fucking manipulation.
I specifically said you based your list off of DPS, damage per second.
Thrawn ain't doing shit but telling people what to do. And the best way to stop somebody that tells you what to do is tell them no. And then beat the fuck out of them.
Yeah. So,
Going with Thrawn for your general?
I'm going to go with Thrawn for my general. What was next?
Underling.
Underling? Oh. Underling's interesting.
Because there's a lot of people that we didn't take into account. Aura Singh, Asajj Ventress.
Asajj Ventress, yes.
Yep. But go ahead and pick your underling so we can wrap this up.
Shit. I should have thought about
I
this.
figured you had this all fucking planned out.
I have a droid, but I don't have an underling.
A stormtrooper. Traitor!
Traitor! Yeah, TR8R. As he was called by fans. Traitor. I'm just going to go with him because I can't think of any, honestly.
You're not going to pick like a badass bounty hunter like Cad Bane?
Oh, Cad Bane. Fuck. No, I'm not. Yeah, TR8R, because
things.
Internet fandom.
All right, that's fair.
But droid HK47.
God, how can you pick HK over IG88?
I don't know IG88. But
HK's not fucking canon.
Yeah, he is, actually. Because the Old Republic canon.
Is it?
It is, because it's a continuing video game that keeps going on. They can't not. It can't
Oh,
not be canon.
you're going off of the Old Republic, not Knights of the Old Republic. I got you. I'm with you.
Well, the Old Republic is Knights of the Old Republic is part of the Old Republic.
I know.
So therefore,
I'm with you
it's
now.
canon because it's still going, and it wouldn't still be going if it wasn't canon.
I'm with you.
So, and that's the cool thing about Star Wars. It expands 30,000 years beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so there's so much history. It's so rich. But there's my list. That's it.
There's my wrist.
We gotta wrap it up. So
Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Buy a ShamWow. Beat your prostitutes.
All right. Do you have any closing thoughts?
As always, my closing thoughts are: form your own opinions, do your own research, and I want to close today with a statement that I wholeheartedly believe. The earth is humanity's prison. We need to focus on escaping this prison.
The Earth is also not flat.
We need to expand and sow our seeds among the stars.
Mm-hmm.
That's my closing thought.
All right.
Heritage.
All right. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah,
As
also
always,
thank you for listening. I mean, I guess I should say that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for listening to Podcastrophe. Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys on the live stream so much for watching. As always, you can catch us live on Facebook every Wednesday at 5:30.
Ish.
Between 5:30 and 6. Sometimes it's a little late. Sometimes it's a little early. Who knows? Either way, you're going to see us sharing it. You're going to see it. You're going to see the Podcastrophe page pop up on your news feed. Just tune in sometime around then. You'll see us. And as always, you can also catch us in audio format on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, and Spotify, all on the Journey into Comics Network every Thursday. So, I've been Dick.
I've been TY.
And please make every day a big dick day.
Heritage.
Bye, guys.
Woke up this morning with my dick in my hand. Girl is to the right of me, just like I planned. It's gonna be a big dick day. 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 Big dick day. It's gonna be a